All right, everyone, thank you for being here today. We have guest speakers from Purdue Research Community, is that Foundation? No, PCRD. It's PCRD. I'm sticking to the acronym.
You're fine.
Along with the Extension. So we're excited to hear about Purdue Extension today and what all you offer our communities. So Melinda, do you want to go ahead and get started?
All right, yeah.
Thank you.
I'm happy to start. Yes, I'm Melinda Grismer with the Purdue Center for Regional Development, and excited to be able to share with you some of the resources of our center today. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and just show you our menu of services, which is where I kind of wanted to start. So hopefully, can everyone see my screen? All right. Are you seeing that? Just making sure. Okay, great. Okay, so to begin with, the Purdue Center for Regional Development offers a lot of services, but we tried to organize it in this fashion so you could kind of see, get a bit of an overview. The first thing that we're probably the most known for is our data. In terms of data analysis and also data visualizations. So in this area, we kind of talk about that a little bit in terms of how we can help partners, whether that's nonprofit organizations or small businesses or community organizations or regional development organizations. We know that there are several of those regions throughout the 16 regions throughout the state of Indiana that we work with IARC. There are also county LEDOs. And so all of those entities have come to us for different types of data visualizations. So how to understand whether it's demographic data or industry cluster data or information about their community to help them interpret that and make good decisions as community leaders. So that's what we do in the data piece of that, all the way from creating dashboards to doing story mapping, which is kind of an innovative thing. If you get a chance to check out our website, which is pcrd.purdue.edu, you can look at all these and kind of browse them. In fact, let me show you kind of each one of these areas has an example to look at. So for instance, our story map example, if you've never seen one of these before, it's pretty neat to kind of take a look at how you can take economic and demographic data and have it tell a story for you. So that's what examples that we do have. I won't go into all of them because I won't have enough time, but definitely take a look at those different examples that we have of the type of data visualizations that we can produce. We also do a lot of planning and facilitation in terms of community forums, focus groups, key informant interviews, all the kind of data from a qualitative standpoint that you need to help measure and gather the feedback from a community that we do under planning and facilitation. So we have all kinds of examples of that as well. So if you're looking for resources to help guide you in how to obtain the feedback from communities, we do a lot of that, and that is here in this area of the menu. We also do a lot of studies and surveys. So all the way from economic feasibility to economic resilience, housing studies, policy briefs, those types of studies and surveys, again, that are community-based, often regionally driven, but can be county and community-based, to help give you a good idea of what's happening in your area to make those decisions. So whether that's workforce analysis or wage and benefit analysis, digital inclusion, all of those things we've done, and those examples exist here for you to take a look at. We also do lots of presentations and webinars, and we help communities with things like business retention and expansion, spatial analysis, economic gardening, which is taking stage 2 businesses and helping them to grow. All of those things are under the area of We Educate, with presentations and webinars that we work in communities, counties, and regions to produce. So more than anything, I just wanted to give you an overview and let you know that resource is available here at pcrd.purdue.edu. And then I wanted to show you also, and I'll drop these links in the chat as well. We have, trying to make sure I get to the right spot here. We have a virtual booth that I will drop the link to that has some really good resources as well. And I thought, since we've got a minute, I would show this video of our director, Roberto Gallardo, going over some of the resources that we have available at the Purdue Center for Regional Development. So here we go.
Melinda, we can't hear it and it's kind of lagging. You might want to just drop it in the chat box.
I will do that. Okay, sorry. Thank you for letting me know that. Okay,
There's no
so
volume.
yes, there's a great overview here of basically our economic gardening, remote work programs, and lots that we do. And I'll drop those actually in the chat right now while I'm thinking of it. That have all the links to these different resources to learn more about us. So I will drop that in the chat right now. All right. Okay, and then the last thing I wanted to show was our most recent annual report from 2021. At the beginning of this annual report, it's called Rewind, and it goes through all of the things that
Not
during the
hearing
year.
anybody
of
talking.
What's that? Sorry, are you having a hard time hearing me? Can you
I
see
can
me?
hear
and hear me? Can you? Okay, all right. I was afraid there was a technical problem.
Fine, Melinda. Joe, are you having problems hearing Melinda? Yeah, I can hear you okay.
Okay, great. I'll reshare the screen just so you can see. Okay. So can you see that? Okay. So this is our annual report. It's called Rewind, and it goes through all of the things that have happened in 2021 that PCRD has been a part of, our 56 projects and programs that we participated in. It talks through all of the different statistics of the counties and everything that we've helped. It's called an interactive annual report, so it's kind of fun to look at. It goes through all of our project highlights, all the way from the Rural Opportunity Zone initiative that we helped 3 counties and 2 cities produce their marketing perspectives, all the way to our HBPI program, Hometown Business Preservation Initiative, that helped 13 different organizations. Our WIN initiative, which helped 10 counties in the North Central region. As well as all the different data and technical reports that we produced in 2021. Kind of the cool feature at the end of this goes through our publications and all the different policy insights that we've been part of, but and all the different contracts and grants that have been awarded as a result of our work with communities. But the nice part that I wanted to show you was by the map at the end. You can select the county that you are interested in finding out more about. So Jessica, shout out a county that would be a good one to click on.
Well, we covered Davies, Martin, Knox, Greene, and Lawrence County. So any of those counties would be great to.
Okay. All right, I'm getting there.
You're over on the other side, yeah. There you go.
All right, I'm going to click on this one. So for instance, in Greene County, we have done economic gardening, digital inclusion fellows. We've produced a county data snapshot for Greene County. We've also worked, IR had commissioned a data dashboard of which Greene County was a part. We've done technical data, and also we have, make sure I do this without, we have produced Rural Indiana Stats, which shows all of the, what we call community vitality indicators for that county to help you make decisions. So we have a digital inclusion fellow, which is someone that has worked with the that county to help increase the digital inclusion of all of your businesses there, and work on all kinds of projects that have to do with digital inclusion and adoption. And we've also done the Accelerating Community Digital Transformation project in Greene County. So what's kind of nice is it's a what have you done for me lately check. And so you can go to each of these counties and see, there's Davies, what's happened in them. So Davies was part of the Rural Opportunity Zone initiative as well, at least in the first round, not in 2021, but in 2020. And they produced a prospectus document to help market to potential investors. So it's kind of fun to take a look at what's happened in each of these counties as a result of the work that PCRD has done with them. So I wanted to just draw your attention to the fact that we have all of those resources. Again, if I haven't drafted in the chat successfully yet, I will do that as Tanya is speaking. But that kind of gives you a bit of an overview of what the Purdue Center for Regional Development is all about. And we help, everyone from the community level to the regional level be able to analyze the data, both quantitative in terms of your economic demographic data and qualitative in terms of community feedback that's helpful as community leaders to make decisions. So that's the primary role, I would say, of the Purdue Center for Regional Development. So I don't know if we want to go ahead and take questions at this point, but that might be a good place to stop.
Thank you. Melinda, are these services free to communities, or how does one go about accessing these?
Yeah, they are free to communities. The best thing to do would be to go to our website, which I'm going to flip over to that, pcrd.purdue.edu. And you'll see in our menu of services, basically where to direct inquiries. I was going to show you that in the About Us, we have our team listed here, and we also have a Contact Us. So these are all of our team members that work with our center. So feel free to contact anyone. Each one of them has a specific area. If you're not sure who you need to contact, Roberto is our director, and directing any inquiries toward him or going through our Contact Us part of the website would be a great way to start. So we have our email, as well as Becca, our administrative assistant, can answer questions or direct you to the right person. But yes, these being with a land-grant university, these services for regional development are accessible to community leaders across the state of Indiana without cost, for the most part. There are some things that, different grant programs and that kind of thing, but for the most part, these are services that are available to the people of Indiana.
Thank you. That's the only question I had.
Okay. All right, I'm going to stop sharing and go ahead and drop that information in the chat. And yeah, we would love to hear from anyone that has interest in terms of interacting with the Purdue Center for Regional Development. Even if it's a question and you're not even sure who to direct it to, we're definitely here to help. So looking forward to hearing from you.
Okay, Jessica, do you want me to go ahead and talk about Purdue Extension? Okay, fantastic.
Yes, that'd be great, Tanya. Thank you.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and try to share my screen, see if I can do this right. Let me know when you can see it. Okay. This is always a tricky part right here because, I've got two different screens. I'm trying to get it right. So with that, what Melinda talked about with the Purdue Center for Regional Development, and I would say a big difference between PCRD and Purdue Extension is that PCRD is more heavy in the technical side with the technical services, whereas in Extension, we're going to be more heavy on the educational side. And more specifically, when it comes to the community development program, we're going to be looking at the network within your community and really trying to strengthen all of the players within the community. So the slide that I have here, I can go with detailed if we'd like, or I can stay pretty broad. And so for now, I'm going to kind of stick with broad, but I will also have the PowerPoint available. I can send this to Jessica if you want to send this out to your the rest of your team.
That'd be great. Thank you, Tanya.
Yeah, no problem. So just kind of to back up for a moment, what exactly is Purdue Extension? Well, the three key program areas that we probably know the most about is the youth program, which is 4-H, the agriculture and natural resources, and then we also have health and human sciences, which focuses more on the family, nutrition, focused on caregiving, financial literacy, things of that nature. But the fourth program area, and probably what I consider the baby of the family when we talk about Purdue Extension, is community development. So historically, when we look at all counties in Indiana, we have a Purdue Extension office. And each one of those are going to have at least one of the top three key program areas. But not typically do you always have community development. We only have these in a couple of these counties. So let's expand on that a little bit more. So as you can see here is a map, and this gives you an idea as to roughly where are those educators, whether they are full-time community development educator or only 20%. And that doesn't mean that we can't service all counties, but just know that this is the smallest program area and we still work together to serve all the counties within Indiana. So you can see here the breakdown in terms of who we have for staff. We have 2 administrators. We have 5 regional educators located throughout the state. We have 8 faculty or specialists on campus. And then locally, we have 21 educators throughout the state of Indiana. So we're very fortunate, we have Cindy Barber in Daviess County, who is a full-time community development educator. We are actually in the process of hiring a regional educator to cover the Southeast district. So if you know of someone who's focusing on or who's interested in economic development or business development, please send them my way so we can get that position filled. Otherwise, I'm one of the regional educators who serves the south part of the state, and I'm actually located in Orange County, so I'm right next to your region. And so this is a website here, cdext.purdue.edu, that has all the information I'm going to be sharing with you today, but I'm going to go through kind of more information about our programs. So the mission of community development is to strengthen the capacity of local leaders, residents, businesses, and organizations to build resilient, inclusive, and sustainable communities through research-based resources and processes, which is a mouthful. Bottom line, we're trying to build the capacity of our local communities to address any issues or challenges that may come along their way. We do this by focusing on 5 major goals, and this relates back to the 5 thematic areas that we have. So we're looking at developing community leadership. We want to educate local governments on best practices and help them know how to navigate all the changes that are happening at the State House. We want to promote community-wide collaboration and planning. We want to encourage, very robust community resources or assets. And then also we want them to be economically vibrant. And so how we do that, again, is through these 5 thematic areas that I mentioned: leadership and civic engagement, community and organizational planning, economic and business development, local government education, as well as quality places. So within Extension, we have a phrase called signature programs. And so these are programs that are offered throughout the state of Indiana. Now, locally, we also would like to have educators identify what are some pressing needs. And so they may adapt some of these programs for the local needs. but in general, these are some programs that we offer statewide. You'll notice that some of these sound very similar to what Melinda shared as well, and that indicates how much we collaborate together within PCRD. So there's a lot of collaboration that happens between both Extension as well as the Purdue Center for Regional Development. So with Leadership and Civic Engagement, the Community Leadership Program. We have this in a couple counties already within the SIDC region. So I know we have it in Davies, we've had it in Martin before, we've had it in Greene, and I'm not sure if we've had it in Knox or not, but we've had it in several other counties. We have Navigating Difference, which is a cultural competency training, which is a 3-day training. We also have Facilitative Leadership. This is a training that happens about 2 or 3 times a year in Brown County that really equips individuals to become a better facilitator within community groups. Within community and organizational development, we have community coaching. So this is where you're going beyond becoming a facilitator, but really working with communities in terms of how to guide community groups moving forward. We also have a beginner's guide to grant writing. We all know that grants are a big thing nowadays, and so therefore equipping folks to become more confident in writing grants is a program that we offer. When it comes to economic and business development, you heard Melinda mention business retention and expansion. So that's an extension program that we do that in coordination with PCRD. Digital Ready for Businesses. I know we've been actively working with SIDC on this, working with businesses to become more digital ready. So things like building a website, thinking about how to maximize social media. Maybe you want to use email platforms, thinking about e-commerce. These are some of the things that we're trying to help create a more resilient community in that they're maximizing not only the foot traffic coming into the business, but also the web traffic that can come to the business. And then when it comes to a more individual level, we have remote work certificate. So this is upskilling someone to be able to work in a remote work occupation. So that's something else that we offer within that space. When it comes to local government, we offer 3 times a year an local government webinar. And so this is something that we offer. And the pure intent is to educate, to inform about policy changes that are happening at the State House. What does this mean for counties? And so that they can be more effective in guiding the political landscape. And then we recognize that land use is a challenging topic across many counties. And so we have American Citizen Planner that again equips individuals who are on those local plan commission to become very effective in that role in planning the future use of the county. And then Quality Places. This is focusing on the assets that you have in your community, your built assets. So enhancing the value of public spaces. So thinking about how can we maximize the park? How can we maximize this space that can be very effective within our communities? Likewise, thinking about what is it for digital ready communities, thinking about how do we communicate, how do we coordinate as a community to be able to respond digitally. So this is a newer program that we offer in that space. So here we have not only the physical space, but also the digital space in terms of how do we work together. And then, especially in the South, we have a lot of beautiful natural resources, but there's not always a lot of collaboration across the agencies that manage those resources. And so therefore we have a conservation through a community leadership program. And then lastly, the enhancing the value of public spaces, but also a twist on focusing on healthy eating or active living. So this is like a fire hose of information about all the programs that we have. I do have the following slides that I do have dive into these much more deeply. What I just did right now is that I simply gave you the quick synopsis of each one, but with the PowerPoint, you can see the rest of them. So for example, I gave more information on each of these, and so I'll skip that for now. But one thing I do want to draw your attention to are some of the ones that are new that are in development. For example, under community and organizational development, one thing that's in development is the board development. So we all know how important the different boards that we have within our communities, but sometimes it can be challenging to onboard new leaders or to keep those boards vibrant. And so therefore, we're in the process of developing a program to equip those boards in becoming more effective within their operations. Another new one that's in development right now focuses on workforce development. And that is the future opportunities for rural workforce and rural development. I'm using development a lot today, but really this curriculum is for extension educators to work with local stakeholders like yourself in improving the workforce ecosystem. And what I mean by that is, making each of the groups who are working in the workforce development space, whether it be at the high school level, with the career technical education, to adult education, to the local work one, how do we work together more effectively to develop career maps to make it more clear to individuals as to what job opportunities are here, what's needed of them for training, where can I get that training, and then also make it more clear for the employers as to how they can recruit, attract, recruit, and even retain high quality workers. And another program that we offer within the workforce development realm is Work Ready. So this is a program that teaches life skills. And so this is relevant not only for youth, but also could be for displaced adults. So thinking of those who maybe been within the jail system for a while, or it could be someone that has not been actively participating in the workforce for whatever reason. This is kind of a light course to help individuals to be able to think about, well, what kind of a job do I want? What kind of training does that require? How do I dress for an interview? What's a resume? How do I fill this out? Thinking about what do they post online? Could employers look at online presence? See what are you doing online? Thinking about budgeting. So you get that job. How do you budget your money? So these are some of the topics that we address when it comes to Work Ready. And one other program I want to highlight in local government that's relatively new is one on running for office. And so this is a program that we've offered in a couple of different counties with teaching about the election process, thinking about the required forms, and understanding some of the ethics related to how one runs for office. And so this is really done in coordination with the local clerk office to offer this program. So that's not all the things that we do. We do a lot more than just simply those programs that I offered. Like Melinda said, we also are involved in economic gardening. Like I mentioned, the land use piece, we provide a lot of resources when it comes to thinking about how do we manage the lands that we have within our counties. We also provide some technical assistance, such as housing studies. We do different studies in the socioeconomic, especially after the last recession. We provided this, but also some wind energy analysis. So we do provide some technical assistance, but not as much as PCRD does. And then lastly, the Stronger Economies Together. So this was a program that I believe was done with SIDC as well several years ago. So you guys have a plan from this. And then also succession planning. So it sometimes feels like community development has our fingers in a lot of different things, and that's true. We see the needs of the community, and we are always eager to try to address those, whether it be within our staff or others within the extension system that we can bring and pull those resources within the counties that need them. So what's next? We're always have our ears to the ground and talking to stakeholders and trying to understand how we can serve our communities, what are the needs, how can we bring folks together. So that's always something that we're looking for. We recognize that a lot of these issues that we're dealing with within our communities are what I call wicked and complex issues. They're not something that you're going to educate your way out of. It takes a lot of rolling up your sleeves and looking at data and making plans and then implementing those plans. And so that's what we're here for, is we're here to walk alongside the communities and help you through this process. So if you want to reach out to us, you can hear Cindy Barber and I's contact information, and you can reach out to us. Like I said, Cindy Barber is there in Daviess County as a full-time community development educator, which means that she is able to entirely focus all of her energy on community development efforts. I'm also nearby to the region, and then once we hire another person, the regional educator will have another person within your region that focuses on community development. So if there's not any questions, or if there's any question, please let me know.
I just wanted to say thank you, Tanya. That was informative. I didn't know all the, I learned a couple things. I thought I knew you guys pretty well. So that was great.
You're welcome. Sometimes it feels like we keep adding more things on to what we do, but there's just so many needs within the communities. And so we find things. In fact, we just went to our national conference here in Indianapolis, and we learned things from our colleagues all over the country that we are interested in bringing here. And so if we don't have it within Extension, within Purdue Extension, we know colleagues that may have a similar program that we can definitely bring into the area, again, based on the needs.
I think that's smart that you guys are starting to look at housing as well. That's an area that SIDCs had to start looking at, as well as governments are now being challenged with how do we bring housing to our area as well, as instead of just letting the residents buy and build their houses. So yeah, it's a fun challenge to take on.
Yep.
I don't have any further questions. So thank you all for being here today. I really appreciate it. And I will have this on our YouTube channel. I'll have Iris help me with that, but we will get some on the YouTube channel for our communities to view. So we appreciate your time today. Thanks for being here.
Great. Thank you.
Thanks,
Thanks for
everyone.
inviting us.